as I was scrolling through YouTube, I found these videos that I wanted to check out. So that's what we're gonna do today, okay? Long ass story aside from last night, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna check out these videos that I found that said, why 90s anime basically just hit different. And if speaking from experience, just in my personal view, I think 90s anime just has a certain aesthetic to it. It usually just has a certain vibe, and the fact that so much of the 90s style was actually hand-drawn and not digitally drawn, your lines look different. There's a difference in art direction, in the artist itself. Like, people kind of underestimate how impactful the thickness of a line is in art, or the curvature of something, and how much graininess is in the film production of it. It gives it a certain style, it gives it a certain value, and that's what I think is missing from the modern anime. It's not that modern anime has worse stories necessarily, or even has a worse art style. It's just a different tone. A lot of modern anime look very simple and very similar. You know, they have this crazy over budget style animation in these fight scenes, or even if they're just like animating the movement of the camera and you see like grass going by, like, that shit's cool. I'm not gonna lie, it looks great. It looks fire. It looks calming at times. Like, it's movie level production value. But when you go back and you start sitting in and you watching Ghost in the Shell, and you watching OG Gundams and Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, man, it's like that feeling that you get when you watch something that's older school. Sometimes that graininess just brings it a certain texture that some things are lost in modern media. On top of that, if we're just comparing like actors and actresses, not gonna lie, people back in the day, with at least in the English side of things, it felt like they cared more. It felt like they had better literal voice direction between the voice actors, because I could put on like 90s to early 2000s anime in English and not have like a single cringing moment. Like, it felt like there was a lot of talent that was there. There's like a huge misstep in current anime when it comes to a lot of like the voice acting. I'm not gonna lie. And sometimes it's off-putting. It hits a little different. That's why it hits even crazier when you get an anime that has really good English voice acting today. People like to always say these things like, it's just, you're realizing how cringe some of this shit is when they're saying it. No. It has nothing to do with how cringe something is being said in Japanese and how they make it sound really cool because you don't really understand it, you're just reading subtitles. No, it's literally how the lines are delivered. Because you, again, listen to those older anime, there's not a single cringe line in Cowboy Bebop. There's not a single cringe line in OG Dragon Ball. Like, they were very talented voice actors and actresses, and they were directed appropriately and accurately, and they just had a lot of talent behind them. The whole production team. It seems to be lacking a little bit in modern anime, and it seems like, they're just trying to push it out and just be a little quick with it and stuff. I think you get to places like maybe like Naruto and stuff, and you start to like see it taper off a little bit, and some cringe shit start to like interject, like that era, that generation of English voice acting stuff. I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion. If you disagree, let me know. And if you're watching this as a YouTube video, let me know down in the comments below. I know, holy yap, you can skip. We can get to the video right now. I can't help it at times. I like to talk. Let the nigga talk, bro. I like to talk. First video. What was it about 90s anime? If
I were to ask you,
I'm gonna pre-fire, give this a like, just because that's how I am.
Looks better, this or this?
This is what I was talking about. Animation design.
What would you choose?
Or animation
now, there's
direction.
No right or wrong answer here, but I think for most people they would choose this. Some of us tend to
audio was like
gravitate towards
doubled and
90s
layered.
anime more. Why do I constantly find myself watching 90s anime like Yu Yu Hakusho or
Bro, Yu Yu Hakusho is just one of the greatest animes ever.
Berserk for the 100th time over the new, fresher
Bro, Yu Yu Hakusho just has a different... I've just not found another anime to have and capture like the special moment that Yu Yu Hakusho had, from the intro to outro and everything in between, the story. Just, there's not another, and even if I was to put it up against these titans and giants like Naruto and Dragon Ball and a lot of people's favorites and stuff like that, I just feel like nothing hits as close to home as Yu Yu Hakusho. Yusuke Urameshi is just such a greatly written main character that is just hard to compare. Like he encompasses that misfit, that character development, and so does people like Kuwabara. You got Karama, and then Hiei. Like, all of them have really detailed and cared time. Like, it doesn't seem like it's rushed over. Like, all their character arcs have like really good attention to detail to their character development that a lot of other anime either over rush or spend too much time on. And I don't know, maybe he just captured a lightning in the bottle moment with Yu Yu Hakusho, because the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho created Hunter x Hunter, and I feel like Hunter x Hunter at times, and I love Hunter x Hunter, but I feel like at times they spend too much time on an arc or too much time with certain characters. It was like a lightning in the bottle moment with Yu Yu Hakusho, and there's just not another anime even remotely close like it when it comes to pacing, art style, art development, story development, everything. If I was to give Yu Yu Hakusho like a major negative, is maybe like every now and then some of the tournament stuff was a little too much. There was some portions of it that was like could have been trimmed out, but like overall, still great.
Anime like Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer. And sometimes
okay, I know I'm yapping. Another anime that comes to mind is DN Angel. D, the letter N, Angel. I don't know too many other people that know that anime or even love that anime. My older sister showed that to me when I was growing up. Love it. I really want the mangas to it. But yeah, overall, great anime if you haven't watched it. Great pacing, great art direction, very, very early 90s style art direction. Like, you can tell it's like very influenced by the things that was around it, but it's not something that's all about fighting. It's just really about the story and how that progresses.
I'll say to myself,
it's a little bit of a romance.
Just nostalgia, and even though I'm sure it plays a big part of it, I don't think that's all there is to it. The aesthetic, the attention to detail, the darker tones and characters, all this I believe is what plays a role into why.
Oh man, I don't even know what you heard and what you didn't hear. I actually just accidentally muted my microphone. In case you didn't hear anything that I said, basically what I was saying is when you're able to mix the two between the Cel Animation and the digital, that's like the best. Like, if a lot of older anime was to get reimagined in the way that Naruto/Boruto project had developed, you could see there's a huge timeline of where you can see Naruto started their development of their animation style, how they was gonna go, and by the later seasons, it like had this mixture of like digital animation and the Cel animation, and it just looked so great. And that's how you can tell somebody's like so passionate and so into their job, is because they found a way to be creative. They found a way to intertwine the two, and they weren't just like told, okay, yeah, just do this, and they just did that. Like, okay, we're just gonna do the digital because it's easier to just keep everything uniform, one style, or we're just gonna do cell shading, cell design and animation because it's just easier, we're gonna do one. No, they found a way to mix the two, do the two together. We're gonna be intricate on this scene, that scene, and then you had times where they did flashbacks, and the flashbacks of the earlier stuff from the start of the series was made with the new animation style, and it just looked so good, so fantastic. And if we had a lot of stuff from the past reimagined and done that way, that would be great. Like Yu Yu Hakusho with a new animation style, great, but not just fully digital. Let it be a good mixture. Or Inuyasha, we've seen that happen because they got a show now about their kids, and it has that kind of mixture. It's not all digital. And then, you know, they did that shit with Fruit Basket, bro. Like I can pull from multiple different older anime they started to do it with. It looks great every time. Do that for like a DVD re-release, Blu-ray edition for like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, you know, like Afro Samurai. Like they could do that shit for so many great things. I mean, Sailor Moon, it don't matter. I can pick and choose from everywhere. It would look so great if you had a good mixture and just had creativity. Like it births inspiration, it births creativity when you can look at two different styles and say, how can I use these together? What scenes look better with this versus this thing? There's a lot of soul that's inside of the earlier animation style and earlier animation things that gives it a certain quality.
Perfect look. And due to Cel Animation,
and again, it's not like we're ever saying that the digital animation is bad. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying it captures a different essence. It literally captures a different vibe.
Being 100% hand drawn, it's allowed artists to be more creative with attention to detail, flaws and all. With its attention to detail, 90s anime has a unique way of getting you invested.
Yo. And then again, I don't know if y'all heard me because again, my microphone was muted for a little bit. I love the way that you can see in this shot the literal paint that they use to capture the rough edges of like the rocks around them and then the mountains, and like it was literally an art piece. Not that digital art isn't an art piece in itself. You got to understand, because I know there's the purists out there, but this literally is a whole different ball game. Like this just looks so heartfelt. There's a certain warmth that's here, and it gives it a feeling of being unique.
With its attention to detail,
in those older animated movies, I swear, newer ones just can't compare.
90s anime has a unique
way
of getting you invested in the world and the characters that it's building. Which is
each one has their flaws, by the way. Each one has their flaws, but it's just there's a way that older animation, like look, this scene right here, right? With the streets right here,
which is why I think
there's a way the streets here can capture a certain essence of dark and gloom and just make you feel like this world is really rustic and lived in. I don't even know if I'm using the word right, rustic. I'm using it. Sue me. I'm using it. Where like modern animation just looks too clean, looks too polished. It's like when you play a video game and you go through an area that's supposed to be dirty, nasty, and gross, and you just run through it and your character is perfectly fine. It looks too polished, it looks too clean. Give me some rough edges, give me some lines that aren't all defined yet, give me some of that withered out painting look. You can't do that with digital. It just looks too good. It looks too clean. It looks too polished. Everything has like this little shine on it. And I know because there's literally a setting on there you could do to have shine. And they add these little white spots to like everything to give it it looks like it just came straight and glossy. It's like it's too like, you know what I'm saying? It's just too much. It's too much at a certain point. It's too much. I think maybe just having a good blend would be fantastic. Like a blend here that would look super fire is the lights. The lights here would look great. It would look fantastic if the lights was digital and you seen that light zoom. It would actually illuminate the area a little bit more than what's actually being shown here right now, while still keeping the dark aesthetic of the nighttime street life in this vibe, in this area. I hope that makes sense. Like, this is coming from somebody that actually draws and it has a goal of making their own manga at some point in time. And I just love to analyze these things. And I watch a lot of anime, or I used to watch a lot of anime, but I see a lot of this. And I just have experience in maybe being able to just feel out a certain situation, you know, even if you can't necessarily describe it by terminology, you've spent enough time in the area where you know something just looks off or has a different vibe, or you can describe what you think would make it feel a little bit better.
People even seeing a screenshot from a 90s anime makes them want to check it out. Like those lo-fi videos
that's
usually
facts.
Scrolling on YouTube.
That's
Take
facts.
Shot from Princess Mononoke.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my god. Yeah.
Example.
Yeah.
Everything from the attention to detail and the hand-drawn character design.
I just feel like, again, if this was newer, it just gloss. Just add, okay, like just gloss. That's literally all you need to do. Like, I could AI generate I could screen grab this, AI generate an image and just put it through a filter and just put anime, and it's not going to do 90s anime aesthetic. It's not going to do cell animation. It's just going to do digital, and it's just going to look glossy, and it is not going to look as great.
The wolf fur cloak, the red face paint, the giant wolf beside her, to the beautiful green foliage in the background grabs you and makes you want to find out more about the world. The dark and uneasy vibes that you get from watching Hiei do Dragon of the Darkness Flame, or the horror of the eclipse from the original Berserk, isn't something that could be replicated by digital animation today. Not to knock any of the more recent animes, because their fight scenes do look great in their own right, but it's missing the soul that you get from traditional animation. Look at the huge difference between 1999's Hunter x Hunter versus 2011's Hunter x Hunter.
It's too clean, bro. It's too clean. The thing about it is you're making every line perfect. Humans are not perfect, and we seek perfection, yet when we get to that area where we're like, okay, it's so finite, it's so good looking, it's just off-putting, because like that's not how real art looks. Art is an extension of the artist. If I draw something and my hand shakes, you should be able to feel that handshake in the drawing. If I draw something and I'm sad, you should be able to feel the sadness within the drawing, or whatever emotion, and that emotion is brought out through my penmanship, through my hand craftsmanship. You don't have that in digital. If your hand is shaking, it just auto corrects it into a straight line, or it auto makes it as clean as possible.
Literally like watching a completely different anime.
It is.
You're not getting the same uneasy feeling from Kid.
Look at that, bro. Oh my, that's what I'm saying. That impact. Like, yeah, the image on the right side, right underneath me, right here, looks crazy. That shit look crazy. Why couldn't they just detail the eyes in there? Now I get it. Two different scenes. I understand. But side by side, I'm sorry. One on the right, it don't compare. It just pales in the comparison, actually. The one on the left makes you feel like some shit just happened. You can see like the wrinkle lines on the eyeballs, like in the surrounding skin. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because Scarlet eyes as you are from the 1999 version. Look at how much more attention to detail and soul there is in the 99 version of when Crollo fights Xena and Silva. You can really tell that the artists put their all into these scenes. As a huge
look, yo, look at like they even animated the small little red little like cheek bruising from after the scratch, because it was an impact on it. Wasn't just clean scratch. Watch the one on the right real quick. Clean scratch. Blood just comes out.
When Crollo fights Xena and Silva, you can
literally see that it's look at the one on the left. Blood comes out, a little bit of bruising.
Tell that the artist,
a little bit of bruising still left over. The one on the right, it's just clean line, clean scratch. Let me just maybe grab this blood splotch look to it. It's lacking that artist feeling, you know. He said soul, and that's a good way to describe it.
As a huge Dragon Ball Z fan,
I also don't like
a 9 version of
this thing. I've been complaining about this since I was in school. A lot of my friends will tell you, like this thing on the right, it has like these speed lines. It's almost like all the newer anime, when they get into what's the word I'm looking for? When they get into quickly paced scenes, they don't even animate the background anymore. It's very, very rare. And if they do, it gets extremely blurred. Whereas on the right, on the left, you see there's still the shit going on behind them. And you can see that they're fighting within the actual space itself. Whereas again, the thing on the right underneath me, is just a yellow speed lines, kind of generic background, and it takes you a little bit out of the moment. Does that make sense?
When Crollo fights Xena and Silva, you can really tell that the artists put their all into these scenes. As a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, there's a reason I could never bring myself to watch Super, no matter how many people told me it was.
Yeah, bro.
Good.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Every time I tried to give it a chance, I could never get past.
Like, why does all they faces gotta shine on it?
The new art style.
It's unrealistic.
Everything seems so bright and colorful. Characters, for whatever reason, had this weird shininess to them.
Yeah,
and to me,
shininess.
It didn't feel like Dragon Ball. It felt like something.
And you're right. Some anime
different.
do, like, some modern anime are hard. But again, it's really rare and far between.
And man, was it refreshing.
It was so much more detailed too. So much more detailed. The shadowing was more detailed. On top of that, it was just more aggressive. I mean, look at the, like, this is just art style that we're arguing here at this point. The one on the bottom is literally a different art style in itself, but it's just lacking depth. That's all it is. It's lacking depth. I mean, on the bottom, the arena floor actually looks better on the bottom. And that's directly from Super. I agree, the arena on the bottom looks better, and depending on whoever animated the one on the top and redid it, they ended up missing that little glass shine because they was inside of this tournament bubble, this little glass, and they're missing that. They're genuinely missing that in the top. But if you was able to mix and mash the two, which is what I've been really preaching, I just feel like you have that perfect just blossom of creativity. You can get that really nice finished look, but still have that grittiness and feel the emotion behind the effort the artist put into every scene.
To see. Like, you can't tell me the current art style looks better than this. Look at how more threatening and menacing Goku Black looks compared to the current version.
Yeah, see, that again, that's preference of art style versus animation style, I would say. Like, because it quite literally just has like a whole different facial feature structure. Like the one on the left is a little bit elongated on the cheek and the chin. Slightly different, like I get it, but again, that's a product of the time. People can still draw like that today, but the issue that you end up having now, my dogs are playing behind me, by the way, if you hear them. The issue that you end up coming into now is that you end up playing with or hiring people that have grown up with the newer animation quality and the new animation style, and they know of the older ones, but their hand drawings are within like a newer animation style. Even their hand drawings have this digital style look to it, instead of them adding in the immense amount of detail and just extra soul and lines and scratches that the older style was working with.
Look at how more threatening
and these are both shonen, and like this is still shonen, so you can't say, well, you know, it's the difference between shonen and shoujo, and and then ecchi content, and then isekai content. Like, no, because we're not saying, because there's literally different styles of how to draw anime. What I'm saying is that even if you was to get any of those other various subsections of anime, and you look at the early 90s to late 90s, early 2000s and stuff of those anime, they are typically drawn in a literal different style. You could say it's a development of art style if you want, but it's a development of the tools that's available. And again, they overshine everything. It just has this weird look to it. And in fact, where people used to clown us in the past for anime being childish and it's just cartoons and right? And it became more socially acceptable. But the now new socially acceptable version of anime is actually more cartoonish by design of their art style. Because if you look at their art styles today, it looks way more cartoonified. It literally looks shinier. It looks more approachable, I guess you could say. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense right now.
Menacing Goku Black looks compared to the current version. It felt like with the current art style of Dragon Ball Super that it felt like I was watching a kid's show. And I mean, I guess technically Dragon Ball Super is a kid's show, but it was just missing that same edge that Dragon Ball Z had. And don't get me started on the character designs in 90s anime. They felt so much more authentic. They felt like the creators really took their time with them. Like, even look at some of these outfits that these characters are wearing.
You don't get any new outfits now. Oh my God, I was talking to one of my homies about that. You don't get any outfits now. It's the same shit. And sometimes you don't even get the different wrinkle effects. Like, look at Killua right here, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. See, this right here is what I'm talking about when I say Yu Yu Hakusho creator made Hunter x Hunter. So different. If you read the Hunter x Hunter manga and then you watch the earlier versions of it in the anime, you can tell. But then they made all this newer stuff.
Find me anything that comes close to this type of drip in any anime today. And that's what I consider great character design, where you can take a look at a character and without even knowing anything about them.
Well, the thing is that a lot of new stuff just they copy and paste. I could just be tripping.
A glimpse of what their personality might be like. Take Spike Spiegel, for example, from Cowboy Bebop. Just from this shot alone, you could probably get the idea that Spike is probably a cool, laid-back guy. And I always felt entranced by the backgrounds in 90s anime, like the post-apocalyptic city of Tokyo in Akira or the lush forests in Princess Mononoke. I remember watching these for the first time and wishing that I could go inside the TV.
Because they're paintings and it's actually handcrafted.
And explore.
They're not just, I'm just going to pick up an asset and drop it here. I'm going to pick up this asset and drop it here. Control C, Control V 100 times, and then I'm gonna duplicate this, change the shadow maybe like 1 or 2 dimensions or decimals off or something, and then I'm just gonna copy and paste this all the way up here. Like, that's what modern shit does. There's a lot of copy paste.
And as I said before, I could recognize that a lot of my feelings on 90s anime, a good part of it comes from nostalgia. For example, my favorite anime is Yu Yu Hakusho. And
Valid.
Sometimes I wonder if that would still be my favorite anime if I never grew up watching it as a kid.
I think it would still be your favorite anime if you never grew up watching. Because there are certain stories that transcend time. So I think Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely one of those. Like, it's definitely going to be something that you're going to go back, you're going to watch and be like, Spirit Detective? Hold on, that sounds kind of interesting. Because even from the story synopsis, you're like, Spirit Detective, high school dropout, low-key, you know, just struggling, trying to make it with his mom. He dies. First episode, he dies. You're like, what if he dies in the first episode? How does the rest of the story go? And then now you're intrigued. You want to continue. That's not a spoiler. The fucking anime is almost like 20-something years old. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Just the little story synopsis of just what it's basically loosed around, and in the first episode you're like, oh, that's pretty intriguing, I want to go watch that. And then you put your foot into it and you start watching it. Next thing you know, one of your favorite anime.
Because I have to admit, there's some parts of Yu Yu Hakusho that didn't age so well. And I wonder if I somehow erase my memories and rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho today, would I still feel the same way about it? Or
The reason I think so is because there's a lot of newer anime that's lacking maturity and depth, where a lot of the 90s anime, it wasn't just like dark stories all the time. They had goofiness, they had childlike stuff in it, yes, of course, but it was like as the seasons developed, you were able to really feel the characters develop as well. Now I'm just getting off topic from just like the way it looks. I think 90s anime were just better at character development in general. They literally capture a different feeling to these characters that most people still know and love today.
Or would I still be a big fan of Dragon Ball Z if I never had those fond memories of rushing home after school to catch it on Toonami? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that we look at 90s anime through rose-colored glasses? Because when you really think about it, we only think about the iconic series from that era. Whenever anyone brings up 90s anime...
Iconic series from the era. Rurouni Kenshin. Yu Yu Hakusho was not iconic. I didn't know many people that was talking about Yu Yu Hakusho until way later, bro. I started finding my group of people that really fucked with Yu Yu Hakusho like high school, bro. Like that's, come on, bro. Come on. Yu Yu Hakusho. Inuyasha. Inuyasha is kind of iconic. Okay. 90, well technically the OG Hunter x Hunter is 90s. I will say that OG Hunter x Hunter is 90s. Dragon Ball, not Z. I fuck with Z, don't get me wrong, but Dragon Ball, Akira, Fruit Basket, Black Butler, Sailor Moon. I mean, come on now. I can keep on going. I really could. What you mean iconic? I mean, it feel like everything iconic at that point. Naruto, what? Everything's iconic. Bleach. Literally, you could say anything's iconic. It's not like we're all naming the big three or something. We're just naming good anime. They were just regular anime that was coming out. If they happen to be super substantial, then sure. You know, I already named off Samurai Champloo. You know, we have freaking Cowboy Bebop. Those are mega star hits. Not many people know Rurouni Kenshin. They did a reimagining or some shit with it, with newer animation style. Didn't fuck with it. Like it's cool. Don't fuck with it nearly as much. I didn't like Crunchyroll for trying to take off the OG Rurouni Kenshin. Was like, nah, this is the experience you gotta have now. Why even try doing that? Not every Studio Ghibli film is like super substantial and iconic. I don't know anybody outside of my family that likes that likes Arrietty. Do you even know what Arrietty is? Like, I love that Studio Ghibli film. I love Arrietty. Don't know anybody else in person that even knows the film. Like, you're shortcutting yourself, man. It's not, people are not looking at it with rose-tinted glasses. They are gonna mention all of the Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, they're gonna mention these things, but these things, when they were coming out, they weren't iconic and classic. They were just regular ass anime. They stood the test of time because of what they are. Stand in your belief about 90s anime. That's how I feel about it. Let's close out this video.
Like Cowboy Bebop, Berserk, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. But we don't really bring up all the bad animes that came out from that era as well. But if you ask...
why you show Pokemon as a bad anime? That was fire too.
Me personally, even taking nostalgia into account, nothing comes close to the soul that 90s anime seems to have. But I'm interested to hearing what you guys think.
But even the bad anime still has soul to it. I mean, I already mentioned DN Angel. DN Angel is not a fantastic anime by a lot of means. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to sell you on it in the beginning of the video. But I love it. It's a great anime to me. To a lot of other people, hell nah. No.
Down in the comments, did you think that 90s anime was the best? Do you think that it just looks old and dated? Let me know down below. And besides that, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.
Fire video, goated video, definitely great for me. Pre-liking that, gonna subscribe. He released that video a year ago. I kind of want to see what more he has to offer. So yeah, if you guys want to support him or anything like that, definitely do that. The Intrusive Thinker. I can see that you like to think a lot. That was a really fire video. I kind of wanted to also pivot and see what this other creator had to say, because I found 2 videos that related to 90s anime.
Do you guys remember when anime looked like this? I mean, like, this was some sexy looking anime. Like, these were some top tier drawings. Like, these drawings were making me want to just These are anime in the 90s.
Fire. That's a good intro.
Animation, of course, has improved over time, and I mean, we went from characters sitting in empty spaces by themselves to this. Anime is an art form, and although we do have the technology that has helped
you say
anime
interesting
propel
thesis in
the way
my
it did
title
over time, I feel like most companies can forget that. Back then, anime had that distinct art style that had an aesthetic to it. Like, can you please tell me why this anime character is looking at me like that? Why is she looking so good? Boy, if you don't... I remember when I was a child, waking up early in the morning to watch Dragon Ball Z, and seeing how buff every single character was, and how they trained. Even though it was dang near impossible to train in 100 times gravity, to look like that, I would. Knowing that, can somebody explain to me why Dragon Ball characters now are so skinny?
Okay, so when you say they need like dopamine hit, I don't think that relates to like how 90s anime actually was able to like bring their audience in. Because when you look at 90s anime, it's not just like, oh, they had longer elongated scenes and it was able to spend more time on stuff. There was a lot of quick paced shit in the 90s too. But you look at some newer stuff, it's like you gotta be really, really, really good to have an anime nowadays even compare to some of these earlier animes. I mean, but when I'm talking about 90s anime in general, I'm talking about story, character development, art style, and animation style. Animation style is the biggest one for me because I just don't feel a lot of the newer anime anymore. I mean, you're looking at like this screen grab that we're on right now. This is literally Cel anime design or animation. But then you got other stuff that's the digital stuff, and it's just like everything's too perfect, it's too bright, everything has like this perfect type of shine to it. And I used the example beforehand of how you got one of the scenes from Akira where he's like riding through the street and he got the multiple people behind him. And I think a great mixture would be when you're mixing the two together, when you have some of the Cel animation and you have the digital animation, and they mix and layer intertwine with each other and create something that's like another breath of fresh air. Like the light, like there are things in the 90s animation style that are lacking. Some of the lights, like I said, you could have the string of lights from the motorcycles be digital. It pops a little bit more and it contrasts with the dark and grittiness of the other area around that's like painted and hand drawn, and it kind of works together. Naruto did a really good job with their later seasons of intertwining the two animation styles and then letting you see how older stuff would look with that new animation style, because they did a lot of flashbacks towards the ending seasons of Naruto, and it was showing you the first fight with Naruto and Sasuke. And we're like, damn, if we got a reimagined or like a Dragon Ball Kai version of Naruto, or a lot of older anime that's like mixing the two of the Cel animation and the digital, that's creativity. Choosing and picking the scenes where everything can be like, you know, like be working together, I guess. Oh, that's the point you were making. Character. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. Gritty. Yeah. Right. Like, it's like the mood that's set there. It's just. it's an analogy that because you know I play games and stuff. It's an analogy that I bring to modern video games or anime video games and stuff. When I play like a new anime game or some shit that comes out, it don't feel lived in. It doesn't feel like this world exists. I should feel like I could immerse myself within your story and feel like I care. You got to make me care. And sometimes even the bad anime in the 90s had a way of drawing you in, either with the art direction or the story or the characters. Something like the movies in the 90s just hit at a different level. Sometimes they would just focus on a scene showing the mountains and the crashing waves against the sand or the hard rocks on the shore, and you could see where it was like paint blotches. You can feel the shaking of the hand between the lines because they're not perfect. But today you could just Control C, Control V. I'm gonna copy this shadow and this tree and just paste it 100 times and then 100 times this way. I'll just tweak one setting here and this setting here, and I'm just gonna put this white spot here and then hit the contrast up a little bit. I understand this because I draw. Like, I actually understand how digital animation is created to a certain extent, and a lot of it is like tools and other assets.
Like, this is wrong. Like, they did my boy Gohan wrong. Like, if me and Gohan hit the gym,
oh my gosh, Gohan was an atrocious.
Stop the cap.
What they did to Gohan was just,
to put it into,
yeah, what they did to Gohan, oh my gosh, bro, that shit pissed me off. Oh my gosh, I forgot to even touch on that. The way these sound effects even sound, it hits that much more different too. Like, it's like, for me, because I make music, right, it's comparable to how some people, you can encounter older people and they would say something along the lines of, I miss listening to things on my old Walkman, or I miss listening to things on the vinyl player, not the modern vinyl players, because there's none of that scratching, popping, and crickling, and it's like that. It's texture. It's an added layer of texture. That's what they're talking about. Like, there's a literal reason why there's that white noise on a vinyl record player. But what they're basically saying is that sometimes, even within the studio released mixed version of a song that you heard back in the day, still had a little bit of that texture, and it adds a little bit of warmth to the actual song itself. Hey, Alice, you wanna react with me? I know you can't hear, you don't got the headphones on. And then my other dog get jealous. Like, these sound effects, bro. Art direction, the team got to make. They were hired to make Ghost in the Shell.
2番と4番、それに5番脚が損傷、走行不能です。
残りの足で車体を戻せるか。
やってみます。
本部ゼロより各社、後方に地雷。その場で停車で。本部1より指揮者。
I can see it. I can see it with this scene right here. I can see it. I can see it.
接近中。目標招待希望。なお増加中。警戒。右方向に熱源反応。方位丸40。移動目標。距離1房丸1。移動目標。総合者なし熱源反応。RPG の射程に入ります。
Like, I feel like I'm watching Metal Gear Solid at the same time. Like, it's a gaming classic, but come on. Y'all hear these sound effects?
本部より本部。妨害勢力の脅威、さらに増大中。発砲の許可を要請する。放線は許可できない。
The zoom up, the nose shadowing, The eyes. Like when you hit one of these, you know your animation is going somewhere. Look at the eye. Look at the eyes. Yup. Dilate, resume, blink. Did y'all see the reaction? Y'all seen the reaction to the shot? Listen to the shot. There's a gunshot that happens, and then he blinks. It's a flinch. Boom, right there. His eyes just show y'all one more time. Right here. That's the shit I'm saying. I know I can't just be old, bro. I know I can't. I'm 25. I have an appreciation of art. It can't just be me. And I say that because like people really be coming into the stream or saying stuff on YouTube videos, be like, oh, you just complain too much. I'm not even like, maybe you just feel defensive or something, like because you think I'm shitting on what you like and your preference. It's a at the end of the day, it's a preference of animation style, but I'm pointing out the literal factual things that can be compared, the comparative differences between the two styles. There's a literal digital style, and then there's a Cel Animation style that is quite literally hand drawn and painted to fit that scene. Oh my gosh. I watched this whole movie, bro. I watched the whole thing. I watched this whole thing. Not everybody just only mentions the big three or the big greats of the time. Like, not everybody's just mentioning the mega hits. Are there mega hits of the 90s? Yes. There is Ghost in the Shell. There is Cowboy Bebop. There is Naruto, Dragon Ball. There is Bleach. Yeah, we get it.
In age, studios currently have no use to sit and derail from what's most popular right now. Like the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, they trying to make money.
Another level.
They trying to make money. I really hate how there were people in the past that would always, like, think about this. Look at the twist that we took. They would always shit on us and say, you can't watch anime, it's for kids. Oh, you're a weird freak if you're watching anime and stuff, right? And then it became socially acceptable now. But why is it that the socially acceptable version of anime now is actually more kid-like due to the art style in itself? Just the animation style is more polished looking, it's more bright, it's way more shiny, they add these white effects to everything. You go watch a scene from Dragon Ball Super and watch Goku get shot in the arm from Frieza's soldier, right? From a laser. Cool. Little bit of scratch marks, maybe. Watch Goku get shot through the fucking stomach by Piccolo in the first 5 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and you gonna see a gaping hole with black and red scratch marks, the blood coming out, him coughing up blood. You're gonna see Raditz over there with blood in his teeth, the armor cracked. Like, it was, you could see that shit. You really seen it. They wipe away all the blood. Like, you can compare scenes.
This era, many characters have the same look, if you get what I'm saying. These are basically the same characters with a different font on all of them.
Yeah.
It literally,
like you do. Budget, you get people love to hate on people just for watching something.
Bro looks like he need to be scrapped off the list. But I came to a realization though. The actual reason for this dilemma in the medium today, we'll have to take it back to the detachment of Cel Animation.
This video fire, yo. Somebody, yo. This video and the other video we watch, yeah, bro. Y'all gotta, whoever's watching, like this. When and if this goes on to YouTube, y'all need to like this, subscribe to this person. He just bringing me back, bro.
Is a form of 2D animation now, strictly hand drawn.
I love that he shows an example of Pinocchio. It's the same reason why I don't enjoy Disney movies nowadays. Change is allowed. I'm not saying change is bad. You got to have the mental aptitude to understand that when I talk about this, it's not just, I'm an old head, change is horrible. I'm saying that there's a good mixture you could do. If you want to change, that's fine. Why can't you just mix the two together? If Naruto could do it and make it look great, why can't you?
Of 2D animation now, strictly hand drawn. No
Like
digital
Pixar
help,
stuff looks
no
great.
Auto filling frames. Every single frame was done by
Most of the time, they
Many
hand
companies
draw
came
those
up
before
using
they
this
animate it.
because at the time it was the preferred and best looking method. But there's one thing I'd like to point out.
Oh my gosh.
about Cel
This scene right here. This scene right here. I was just talking about
There's
this.
one thing I'd like to point out.
A good mixture. Everything here looks dark. It looks gritty. It looks rustic. It looks and feels lived in. You are brought into the world. Could this be polished up and looked a little better? Yes, it could. The lights could be digital and it could be brighter, showing the contrast of the lights on the darkness of the street. And it would give the scene much more impact. And what do you get? A good blend. It's having the artistic vision to pick and choose which scenes should use which animation style and or blend the two. That's creativity. That's art direction at its finest. Not, it's easier if we just asset everything. We're all going to do digital art. Or we're just going to do everything Cel Animation. Because again, I can point out right here in the lights itself, there's a thing that's lacking from this scene. But if you was to choose one or the other, I would rather have everything all Cel Animation than everything all digital animation. And if you can't do it, just mix the two.
About Cel Animation. Cel Animation gave artists creative freedom. And yeah, trust that the animators took full advantage of this, because they got so good to the point that the animation industry had finally hit its The golden age of animation is what I'd like to call in today's terms peak. This was the time when drawings and backgrounds started to have that insane detail, from the hair strand on a character's head to the fingernails on each person's hand. I'm talking about that Studio Ghibli, that
Studio Ghibli got some good art style.
Cowboy Beat.
Whether you fuck with the stories or not, preference. Their art style cannot be denied.
That old school Dragon Ball.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Anime ain't look this good. It had that beautiful but warm color palette that every time you watched it, you couldn't help but feel cozy and want to just relax in the most chill way possible. This is the animation that you see on those slowed and reverb songs.
And the music of the time, the music, the music, the soundtracks, the literal soundtracks. Alice, you got something to say? You got something to say? I appreciate you too, baby. You got something to say? What about you, Copper? Yeah. I'm sure somebody out there appreciates that. Okay, let's get down. You too.
It's because it carried that, and dare I say, that vibe.
I'm outside in an
AMG. All right, hold on. I'm not trying to get fucking copyrighted. I'm trying to get copyrighted. I'm gonna put this shit on YouTube.
This animation resonated with your soul. The problem with anime today is anime can sometimes look too perfect or smooth, if you guys get what I'm saying.
I think what this is a good example, because he has a good scene. I love the way, as I've grown older, when I first seen it, I didn't like it. And there's probably some record of me on the internet saying that I didn't like it, considering that I've been making shit since like on these channels probably since like 2016 or some shit. I at first did not enjoy Attack on Titan's animation style, but I always told people, and this is still true to this day, I never finished Attack on Titan anime. I read their fucking manga. Because growing up, if I didn't like your anime, I would always rather just read your manga. And I was introduced to reading manga from my older sister. She's 10 years older than I am. And it was always cool as hell whenever I didn't like something and she was like, try the manga. She would take me to a local bookstore or the library. And she was the only one in the family that truly encouraged me to read, whether it's anime or anything else. Like she really encouraged me to do that. With the animation style of Attack on Titan, I was off-put on it. I thought the first episode was great. It had shock value. Watch. My general rule of thumb with anime is I always give an anime 3 episodes to intrigue me and continue to watch it. And if you can't intrigue me and continue to watch it, whether I don't like your animation style or not, if your story is good enough, I'll continue to watch. I didn't really feel that for Attack on Titan. Felt way different when I read the manga, bro. Way different. I was locked out, fucking just reading them bitches. Just straight reading. As I've gotten older, and I went back and tried to digest the anime of the animation and anime in general of Attack on Titan, I have fallen entirely in love with the fact that this is actually a good example of how this studio, I feel like, has revolutionized in their own way a creative spin on digital animation, because they added extra lines where they might have not really needed to. Is it as great and gritty as it could have been, especially with how dark the story is and what it encompasses and what's around it? No. But they do a really good job of making you feel the characters' emotions by adding these extra lines.
Sometimes look too perfect or smooth, if you guys get what I'm saying. Anime can sometimes look too perfect or smooth, if you guys get what I'm saying. Every drawing looks like it had no room for error. And that can take away from what we can relate to when watching these shows. The main thing is, humans aren't perfect. And that's what
I just made this point. Also, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I just made this point in the last video. People aren't perfect. We strive for perfection, and then we get to the point where it's off-putting. It's uneasy. It's like you can tell something's off. As humans, the essence of art is an extension of the artist itself. It's not a use of just assets. You have to feel getting the shading pencil. You have to feel getting the lines, the shakiness in the hand, the spots and the blotches and where they messed up, where they might have tried to erase something, but the paper's a little old and it don't erase all the way, and so it looked a little weird there. It wasn't a purposeful shadow, or they paint it and they cover the area and the scene and an emotion, but that emotion is from the artist itself. If I feel sad, I should be able to make you feel sad through the way I've drawn the art, the emotion. I might have cried on a piece. You don't know. A portion that was darker could have been from somebody crying. They could have really put their blood, sweat, and tears in something. You can't see that in digital. You could be shaky drawing a line on a digital. It's going to auto-correct that shit to be a straight line. Or it's going to be as thin and perfect as possible.
What makes art. It was those mistakes or imperfections that allowed you to resonate with the photo you were looking at on another level. Those imperfections were the perfections. Boiling down what we made from creative minds to overly saturated photos with no room for error takes away from the art that you were witnessing, because it lacks that humanness. Now, I'm not gonna take away from what digital animation has.
I used to praise Demon Slayer a lot, and I still do, for their animation, because their animation isn't just like a one-to-one. It's not just like, it's digital. Like, they kind of have their own shtick. They have their own thing that other people can't really replicate. Like, you could, but it almost feels like with Demon Slayer, they take I don't even know what the animation style is called, but a lot of Chinese people use it like, it's like almost puppet puppetry in a sense. It's like their animation almost has like somebody with like a wooden stick, and it was cut out that way, and they're like moving it up and down. Like it's like a mixture of animation styles and like movie ideals and practices, and then you get what you have there. And I think that's just so freaking cool. I was trying to read your message. You said Saitama.
Dude, there's a reason why so much anime are even able to come out. That doesn't mean all of them are good. Let's be honest. Chainsaw.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
It had no room for error, and that can take away to resonate with the photo you were looking at on another level. Those imperfections were the perfections. Boiling down what we made from creative minds to overly saturated photos with no room for error takes away from the art that you were witnessing, because it lacks that.
This is a good hold on
No
right
room
here.
for error.
This scene
Takes
is
away from the
a great example of, like, you look at it, you can see the little splotches of the paint that was used, or the coloring that was used to make this grass or the mountainous area and stuff. Like, the thing that's probably digital here is likely this rainbow tower here on the bottom. And they probably copy and pasted doing the houses. Maybe. That's a big maybe.
art that you were witnessing, because it lacks.
But there's no perfect lines on these rocks. They actually sat there, drew it out, drew the general shape of it, started shading it in its own way.
Lacks that humanness. Now, I'm not gonna take away from what digital animation.
Like, this looks good. What Demon Slayer is doing here looks good.
Because it lacks
but
that.
As I've said, it's the exception.
Humanness. Now, I'm not gonna take away from.
There's
what
a reason why. And I mean, I'm a yapper. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna pause it again. But there's a reason why Demon Slayer literally just sold like $300 million revenue from the box office with their latest movie. There's a fucking reason why. Because people recognize the exceptions.
Has enabled us to do. There's a reason why so much anime are even able to come out. That doesn't mean all of them are good, let's be honest. But there are many anime, and I mean many, that are expanding on the creativity in their own fashion. For example, Ranking of Kings.
There's this one more thing before this video ends at some point. Anime today have a really big issue with wanting to seem more game-like. I don't understand the fascination with people wanting to use CGI in their anime. It's animation. Good CGI is not noticeable in the way that when people think CGI and they're like, oh, this looks weird, it's 3D animation and stuff. 3D animation isn't bad. Nobody is ever really given enough time to make it look good. People used CG animation in the 90s. Or early 2000s when it was like really starting to come into production and people could use it. It cost a lot of money, but they made that shit look good. They spent time on it. Why do so many people, like, I be looking at some modern anime, I'm like, why don't y'all just make a game? No shade to the people that made Ruby. I actually really like the stories of Ruby. Felt like I was just watching a video game at that point. Yeah, I could have just made a game.
Chainsaw Man, and even Afro Samurai. These animes, Chainsaw Man, and even Afro
Samurai, so impactful. We have a huge YouTuber mimicked after him, Afro Senju. That's where he got Afro Senju came from Afro Samurai, if y'all didn't know. Afro Samurai, fucking crazy art style.
These animes understand the advantage that they have today with their digital advantage, and it's
see, like this,
instead of just
this is a thing that I was saying before. They're using this 3D retroscope, rotoscope type scene, right, in Naruto right here. It's still hand drawn. It has a little bit of it's digital at the same time, but it's still done within scene. Why is it that so many anime I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Why does so many anime have to have these generic yellow, white lines, and that's because they're speeding or they're doing something quick? Like, why is that something instead of it being animated within the actual scene itself?
Using it, they embrace it. They're using completely 3D environments, for example, camera angles we wouldn't have ever gotten with 2D animation. This is the digital animation's way of immersing you into their TV show. They use other techniques to keep you engaged.
Noragami. Noragami is a really great example of digital animation that looks really good. And at times it feels like they're using a mixture of Cel Animation. Don Machi is really fucking good too. Yup.
View the beginning of this digital era as a what was. Thank you
Durarara, also really
for
good.
taking the time to watch this video. Subscribe. That would be extremely appreciated, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about the stance.
Definitely.
Do you prefer 90s animation or actually prefer what's given to us today? Maybe you like it way more nowadays. But let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
To answer his question, I do love what's given to us today. I love what's given to us today in the sense of how quickly they're able to produce anime. Anime that's produced now, like, it comes out really quick. It looks really good. And it's like, I've said this before, it's the microwave generation that we live in. Everybody wants stuff done on their phones. Everybody wants things done immediately. It's cool. I get it. I like that. It's fire. We're able to get seasons back to back. I mean, I've been waiting for a season of No Game, No Life for like 10 years. For literally like 10 years, I've been waiting for a season of No Game, No Life. I've been waiting for seasons of other older anime for like so long, so long. So I get it. They making money, they doing stuff quick, but like, damn, bro, it would be nice to just get that anime every now and then still today. That's like, let's take it back. Let's take it back real quick. We're gonna do our own thing. And we're not gonna worry about how long it's gonna take us to get these things out the way. If you hire the right designers and the right artists, that shit's not gonna take that long. The modern anime gets a new season pumped out like every 6 months, sometimes every 3. You get the right anime, and I mean, you get the right team behind you, maybe double that, right? Might take a year to get the next season, but it's gonna look good. Might. I don't know. I also don't like how some anime just do like screenshot stuff. Like, they do it in video games, but why? What's the point of doing that in the anime? Like, they'll do, the only thing I think screenshots are good for is if you're doing flashback things. I don't know. That was a great video though. I really like that. I'm about to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back.
Lights down low, but spirits so high. Game controller in hand, ready to fly. The night's our playground where time stands still. In this cozy nook, let's get our thrill. Pencils shining bright in the midnight glow. Leveling up in a world we know. Laughing together as the hours drift by.